Hi, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to CyberGist Session. So it's another beautiful time where we just get to have cyber conversations, and today we are going to be looking at Cybersecurity 101. So it's just basic breakdown of cybersecurity, like an overall view of what cybersecurity actually is in the very simplest way. Okay, so if you are new to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, and you're in for a good time. All right, so cybersecurity. What exactly is cybersecurity? Let's look at it more like physical houses, our physical security. So how do we protect ourselves physically? We have a house, and then the houses have windows. It still has protectors right inside the house, and then sometimes even if it's a compound, you still have like the general protector, right? So that's more like physical security. So cyber security just comes down to basically protecting yourself, but now it's focused online. So now it's focused on your digital assets. You're trying to protect your data, you're trying to protect your devices, your finances, even as much as your identity. Yeah, because identity theft is actually very real, right? So compared to having to lock your doors at home, you're trying to keep intruders out of the house, trying to feel safe. Cybersecurity just is the digital aspect of it, and it is very important for everybody. It's not something that it's for people that are techie. It's not something that requires you to be like a pro kind of. It's something that is a responsibility of everyone to keep their digital assets secure. Okay, so cybersecurity is just basically for individuals, for businesses. It's basically for you. It's for that old mama in the village. It's for the market woman. It's for everyone. It's not something that is, oh, I don't have money in my account. I don't do all of this. I'm not really a social media person. So far as you have an online account, maybe you bank, maybe you have a profile on socials, maybe you use as much as an email, then you are prone to cyber attack. You are a potential target for cyber attack. Therefore, it is important that we all are cyber aware. Okay, so I'll just be taking us through like just a walkthrough of basic things, how we can stay safe online, like the basic things that we can do, like leave tech aside, the basic small things that we can do on our own, right, to help us stay safe as we navigate the online space, right? And we're also going to be looking at certain tactics that cyber criminals will always use, that makes us fall easily for them. We're going to be looking at them, and when you are aware, it's easy to avoid it. So we're also going to be looking at sharing some tips protect your money, your account, your identity generally. And if you have any question about cybersecurity, basic cybersecurity, if you have any question around it, you can feel free to leave a comment, and that would also be attended to. All right. So let's get started with why it's important to stay safe online. Right. So I already mentioned that cybersecurity is like an everybody something. Just like you don't want to go to bed knowing that your door is open. Cybersecurity is an everybody something, right? And it's important that we all are aware. And we have some of the biggest cyber threats, like currently face phishing attacks. I'm going to break that down. We have identity theft. We have impersonation. You see a number of people, a lot of account takeovers, and people claiming to be who they are not just to have other people fall prey, right? So we're going to be looking through some of these things, and just get to learn a bit about what they are. We're also going to talk about social engineering because that is the one that involves human psychology, like core human psychology. So it's more like these cyber criminals are trying to, deceive you into giving out certain personal information that, with the intent of, causing harm, trying to use it to carry out their malicious intents, right? So we're going to be picking some of those things one after the other. So I'd like to start with phishing. I like to start with phishing. Phishing is one of the most it's one of the threats that we are most prone to. And phishing is, I don't know if you've ever received a mail or even a text message. It could come in form of a mail, it could be a text message, it could even be via call, the one we call phishing, right? So it could be through any of these channels, and it's always trying to pretend like trying to come as something legitimate and trying to get you to, do something that is against, something that is not legitimate per se. So I'm just trying to see how to break it down like in the very, very simplest way. All right. So phishing can come in form of mail, text, some of those tests you get pretending to be from your bank, pretending to be from your friend. It could be that via XMS, telling you, oh, you've done this, you've done that, you've won this, or your bank account is blocked. You have to click on this link to reactivate. Okay. So phishing is just basically that. And some of the things that you could use to identify it is, most times it will definitely come from unknown sources. Few months ago, I received an XMS from Alert by Wema. First, I didn't even have an account with them, and this mail was telling me that somebody had changed the email on my account, and I needed to click on a particular link. To, if I'm not the one that performed the action, I should click on a particular link. First off, I don't bank with Alert by Wema. So why exactly am I being told that somebody has changed my email address with them? So I just wanted to understand tactics and all that. I copied out the link. I took it to Virus Total, and yeah, it flagged as one of these spam mails. I tried to see how exactly, it's what exactly their tactics is, and I pasted that on a browser. And first, it took me to a login page. So imagine I had an Alert by Wema account, and I know nothing about, like, I thought maybe it's from the actual source, right? So it first takes me to a login page, and the next thing I want to do is to put my username and my password, thinking that I'm actually logging in to Alert by Wema site, right? So it's important that you look out for links from unknown sources. Try to verify the sender first. Is this actually real? Is this actually true? Like, try to look out for those certain red flags, word spellings, this sense of urgency that would always come with it. Things that somehow sound too good to be true. Okay, so it's important that you look through most of those things. So if you actually look at it, because I didn't know the exact URL for Alert by Wema, but if you actually see, you can see that there could have been a typo squatting, like they would have somehow just put in something in the web that it looks exactly like it's Alert by Wema, but when you look deeply, it's not like their main landing page, kind of. So it's something that is very important that we also look out for. And another thing is account takeovers, right? Where people often leverage on, gather information from the things you've probably shared online, um, just information about you. And I'm sure you've seen profiles where people set up profiles that are just exactly with another person's detail, like so good to be true. If you're coming across the profile, you will say, is this person? They go as far as using the person's picture and, certain information that they are able to gather. We see a lot of that happen with Facebook accounts, IG accounts, and a number of it, right? So it's important, first off, what kind of password are you using? What kind of password are you using? Is your password that's easy to crack, because passwords are like the very first line of defense. The very first line of defense. So let's say I'm a cyber criminal, I get hold of your phone, and maybe there's no lock on it at all, or maybe your lock is 1 2 3 4, and I just life is very easy, right? So it's important that we avoid weak passwords. It's one of the ways that we want to reduce the impact of these account takeovers, right? Avoid using easy passwords that, very guessable. Some of us are still using our birthdays as password. Some of us are still using our names. It makes it so easy for you to be prone to account takeovers, right? So it is recommended that your password should at least 8 to 10 characters. Like, it has to be long. In fact, the longer your password, the more difficult it is to crack that password, right? So you also want to use a mix of letters, numbers, symbols. So it's not just 1 2 3 4. Just try to mix it up. Capital letters, small letters, numbers, symbols, all those at, ash, and all of that. And as much as possible, use passphrases instead. So passphrases are more like could be a sentence of something that is memorable to you, something you can easily remember, and then maybe you just get to pick a few letters from each of the words that make up the sentence, and that forms your password. That can help you generate a really strong password. So you have a sentence, and then maybe you just pick out some significant letters and numbers within that sentence, to be able to get a strong password. So passphrases are, of course, much more stronger than passwords, right? And it's also important that you enable 2FA. Please, if you've not done that, please enable 2FA. It takes just few minutes to set up, right? So 2FA is more like an extra, just like we talked about the door. You have a door in your house. First off, you have a window. Your window now it still has those what's it called, the rails and all of that, right? So that even if somebody is able to, the person needs to first break the protector to even be able to get to the window, and then you still have a door, you still have a lot. So 2FA is like that. Oh, you set up a password, fine, but just in case you're able to go through this password, what's the extra layer? Is it that the person just expressly comes into your house? If they're able to break the gate at the entrance, do they just expressly come into your house, right? So 2FA is just like an additional layer of security. And where applicable, please go ahead and use multi-factor, right? So multi-factor goes beyond a second layer and adds even more layers. So for instance, you have, maybe you're able to get access to my password. You need an extra code to be able to authenticate and, go ahead and do whatever, and then you still get to the code, and maybe there's still another one that you need to get, maybe a pin, a token, whatever, but it goes beyond just that one factor of authentication. Another thing that it's also important that I mention is oversharing. Oversharing, that's one of the way that a lot of us fall victim of cyber attacks. When you're sharing too much, it makes you an easy target. When you share too much, it makes you an easy target. I had I was out for an outreach earlier today, and yeah, one of the persons that one of the facilitators actually did mention this, and then he said a number of times we're sharing a lot of things in real time. And I was actually in a conference, and they said if you're sharing where you are, at the same time you are sharing where you are not. So while you're telling us you are here, okay, if you are here, then definitely you are not at the other place, right? So I'm posting my vacation in real time and all of that, and since now they know I'm not at home, and that makes it much easy, to be able to break in. So please, you need to be careful about sharing personal details online. Be careful about sharing your location, sharing, your birth date, just some of those really personal information. And to think that some of this information we even put out are things that we've used as our security questions. No, all those security questions that you set up. They say, who is your best friend? You put the name. And then you come out, you share those details, and then a cyber criminal comes across something that requires the name of your best friend. We know the name of your best friend now. You've shared it with us on social media, right? So it's also important that you review your privacy settings on social media, like super, super important. Review your privacy settings. Who are the people that have access to see what and what exactly? And of course, be careful about what you share. You want to go back to the video we had some, yeah, I think that was the other month where we talked about your digital footprints, I think in January. So you want to go back to that video and look at it. Okay. And I also want to talk about the threats related to the apps that we download on our phones. Right. So it's important that if you must download these apps, please make sure you're downloading from legitimate um, sites. Even if you're downloading from Google Play Store, for instance, you still need to be sure. Some of these apps ask us for access to things that are not their business, right? I want to download a calculator app and it's asking me for access to my contacts. What does the calculator want to do with my contacts? So it's very important. Okay, I learned from a webinar some weeks ago as well, where said if you have an app on your phone and in 3 months you don't need that app, in 3 months, 4 months, you don't have need for that app, please just uninstall it. Whenever you need it, you can always install it, because within that time there could have been updates done on the app, right? And you need to update, these apps, because sometimes maybe there are new patches, there are new vulnerabilities found, and there are patches, and then you see update, and sometimes most of us will just skip it and say, oh, we'll look at this later. So it's very, very important that you review those privacy settings, know what access you're granting some of those apps, and as much as possible, periodically look at your phones. Did I download this? There are times you're trying to do something, and maybe you were not even the one that clicked on download and something, and somehow you just see an app that you don't know what exactly is doing on your phone. So you need to be able to review those things periodically. All right. So these are just some of the basic, really, really basic cyber threats. So please keep your apps and softwares like up to date. Use an antivirus. Um, don't overshare online. Always think before you click. Right? Don't be don't be a clicker. Whatever you see, just, if you must, please copy that link and paste on the browser. Don't necessarily, don't just go and click on it straight up, right? Always verify. Use sites like Virus Total to always verify legitimacy of at least some of these URLs, some files, and be able to get information around them. Okay. And it's also very important that I mention that staying safe online is not that hard though. It's just that a number of times we are aware, we know what to do. We've heard these things a number of times, but we want to choose convenience. It's easier for me to remember 1234 as my password. Deep inside that this password is not strong, but then you're like, this 2FA, these people are saying, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next tomorrow. What about you just do it now? It's not that hard. You already know, you're already aware, some of these things. It's just about the small habits and you being consistent towards them, right? So, cybersecurity is not about fear. It's not about trying to tell you that, oh, there are people watching you, there are people that want to do this and all that. No, it's just about you being safe, being able to protect your data, your identity, your finances, very, very important. And it's something that should be everybody's responsibility. It's not for me. It's not just for people that own businesses. It's not for people that have money. It is something that is everybody's responsibility. And I'm charging you today, if you've not been taking cybersecurity serious, please Don't say, oh, it's for people that studied it, it's for people that want to build maybe a career around it. No, it's for everybody. It's a basic skill, just like you learn table manners, you learn just basic skill. Cybersecurity 101, basic skill, basic things you should know to keep yourself safe online, to keep your identity safe online, to keep your data safe. And I hope this helps. Um, Next CyberGist live session would be next month. And before then, please stay tuned to this channel. So, Securely Evolving is all about security and personal growth, right? And we have more contents coming up. Click on the subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you're able to get alerts whenever any post goes live. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.